lot to him. 197 means he is that much closer to breaking into the top 100 lawn tennis players in the world. At 23 years old and ranked #1 in his native Barbados, he has already achieved sweet victory, international scrutiny, and unimaginable sorrow. When staring down an opponent across the net, his ability to zone it all out is a survival requirement.
I would say it started as in primary school. It was just a normal tournament. The games teacher, Mrs. Stevenson, everyone, she just walked around asking people to participate in this junior tournament. And I mean, as I say, I was a sports fanatic, so I just jumped in, took up the racket, and ended up winning it. And then Sidney Lopez from the Ocean View Tennis Club, he saw me, he saw talent in me, and gave me a scholarship to the Ocean View Tennis Club. Got my parents into the game. Christopher was all about the tennis from the age he was 10. So I think I followed his footsteps also. So I think it was because of him.
Something about tennis just stuck. And as I said, I don't think I started before him. I just think I was a little more serious than he was, and I think that was actually my downfall. I was a little too serious then.
The boy's dad, Wesley King, who works as a customs officer, remembers the sporting rivalries between the two siblings.
I think it all began when they were at school. My job, my wife's job, we would always arrive late for them. So they started to play road tennis, so that maybe, you know, by the time so that we come to pick up them. And I assume that this skill from there, they carried on into the lawn tennis.
At the age of 14 I was when I won the Junior Barbados tournament. I was the underdog, obviously, and I mean, for me to win that, I think that opened a lot of doors for me, a lot of eyes. And gradually I got some support from the Barbados Association, Tennis Association, and Olympic Association. And then gradually I started to progress pretty quick. I think I ended up reaching to top 300 at the end of that year.
With a new focus on the world of tennis and with the support of his entire family, the former student of the law school set his sights on becoming a tennis pro. For Darian, however, the road to an international Grand Slam brought new challenges off the court as well.
I had to keep traveling, so school was very, very hard.
Sometimes, you know, within a term, he would only go to school about 4 or 5 weeks because he had to be out. But the good thing about that is that some of the subjects that he did, I knew some. And my wife, she was an accountant, so the maths and the accounts, she was good. So some days on evenings, you know, we would take him and we would do tuition with him.
While Darian's parents doubled as educators, his older brother Christopher became manager and coach.
I actually started from when I was like 16. I first went to school 17 years old. When he was one of the top juniors in the world, that I actually took over that. Not really knowing, okay, this is my job, but it's my little brother, so I need to do something to help him to get to the best he could be. And then it went from there now into professional. Like, he's doing what he's doing with minimum. Like, we have to sometimes cancel tournaments, sometimes, okay, we only go to this tournament because it's short and it costs less.
3 years ago, I remember the days when I had to save money, as in like in food, eating a $1 burger from McDonald's and finding the cheapest hotel to stay in, not stringing my racket for the next match, those kind of stuff I was doing just to make it on tour. And then gradually, eventually it paid off because I ended up doing well in tournaments, winning tournaments, and then obviously people have seen this youngster is doing well, this youngster is progressing.
For the 23-year-old, being a tennis pro with his sights set on becoming one of the best in the world leaves little time for romantic endeavors.
it's very tough for me to have a girlfriend because of the traveling. Going away for 3 months and then to come back here and then only for 5 days or 6 days. I mean, it's very tough. So, I mean, I just have a lot of girls as friends, I would say.
You have a goal to reach. You want to reach at least between the first 150 people in the world, and that is going to take a lot of dedication and application in order to get to that. So at this point in time, that you can put girls on the back burner. Yes, as I say, you need to communicate with girls and things at this point in time, but don't become so caught up in it, because it's going to subtract from what you're trying to achieve in life.
Yeah, I look up to my dad most because, I mean, as you see, he's a very hard-working person, and he showed me things like whatever you want for success, you have to work hard at it. And to see him, especially to see him work night shifts and stuff at customs, and then coming in late at night and then providing for us and stuff. And he was also a good sportsman. He was not into tennis, and then since I started doing well, and then he started to watch me practice, he started to understand the game, and then obviously I can gain tips and obviously work on this, work on that. And to hear it from your dad, I think that's the best person to hear it from.
In 2010, at age 18, while most of his peers were thinking about continuing studies, partying, and celebrating their newfound freedom of heading into manhood, Darian decided to forego university and focused in on his tennis career. He continued to experience success on the court, but unimaginable sorrow was just around the corner.
He was actually one of the top recruited players in the world to go to university. And it was like, well, go to UCLA, which is one of the best schools in America for tennis, or go pro. If you're going to be a professional, you have to go 100. So, I mean, some people may disagree with me on that, but after you see some of the kids that was his age that were better than him that went to school, I know they're trying to come back up there, you see that he's going past them by far, because the best teacher is actually being in it.
While the boys were busy with their respective career paths, the entire King family was shattered when their beloved matriarch, Myrna, was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer.
I think losing my mom was the toughest part of me, I should say. Like sports, school, education, household-wise, I think it's taken away so much from me, but I use it now as encouragement, because this is what my mom would want me to do. She was the root of this household, and obviously without a root, everyone, there's no plant, no stem, no leaves, no branches. I think since she has gone, everything she has died, everyone changed in their way. I think, as for me in sports, every time I win a match, I give, you know what I mean, the blessings and stuff. My mom always told me to pray before my match. Yeah, stuff. My mom, when I wake up one morning, especially when it's especially the most important, the birthday. If I'm 17 kisses, 25 kisses. We kneel down. The whole family kneels down at the bedside, and we all say a prayer. Everyone says a prayer. So that kind of stuff, I think, brought me up as a man also. Changed Chris, changed my dad, changed Brian, changed Amory. No one is in the house really like as before. But I mean, obviously in our hearts and in our minds, she's always next to us. I mean, sometimes I would just go in the back bedroom, where it's her room and my dad's, and just lie there. And sometimes I think I move crazy sometimes, just pretend like, yeah, we are having conversations and yeah, stuff like that. So I mean, losing my mom was the hardest thing, in my life, I think, definitely. When it comes to my mom, like, it's just a whole different me. She was just too awesome.
I was actually in school at the time. I got the call in my dorm. I was like, why is somebody calling at 5 o'clock in the morning? I honestly, I was so numb that only when I got home, like, I was probably cameras out of everyone, because I was like, okay, let's do this. Because it didn't hit me yet, because they were here and I was away, so I just got called. And then to fly back, and then it changed me, because then I had to step up for him and myself. So I had to mature very, very quickly. He probably wants to quit 10 times a year. Like, okay, I'm done. Like, he would lose a match and, like, okay, I'm done. I quit. Because it's hard. Like, you have probably 1 million people playing tennis, and he's 200th in the world. So it shows all these people are trying to be #1. So you go there, you lose, it's tough, and you're like, you know what? I could go home and just chill. I don't want to do this anymore. But then you're like, you know what? Our mom would like that we're out here doing something positive and trying to be the best that we could be.
But the thing about it, that my wife was stronger than me. And I always thought that it was the person who was going to die first. Right? I always felt so. But my wife would run around walking. My wife, before she came home from work, would go to the garden and walk. And I was a person who liked to drink Coke, and she would say to me, you must start drinking Coke. So she was, to me, appeared at that point in time to be the more healthier person. It was a shock, and I find that she more helped me through it, because she would not, suddenly she get it, she would say, I'm not feeling well. You know, she would try not to dwell on it, because she felt like it was more weaker than her having to deal with it. And I assume too, having the training at that young age and things she did, you know, I'm glad for that. She didn't burden us or anything like that. She would take it in stride. She would say that obviously, you know, she's going to do that at some point in time. But even for like Darian and Christopher, you know, that because they were the youngest at that point in time, that, you know, that they keep together. And I'm glad that God worked it out in such a way that Christopher and Darian, to me, it would take a long time to sever, you know, because the stepping stone that she would have, the thoughts and things that she would have left, to me, is an inspiration for Darian and Christopher and them to do well.
I just want to say, Mom, I'm doing it.
Darian won 3 future titles in America, Romania, and the Netherlands, and also won all 6 of his Davis Cup singles matches during the Group 2 Americas playoffs, which helped Barbados progress to the first group. Heading into the 2015 Davis Cup, Darian would get the chance to play before a home crowd.
We played against the Dominican Republic, who has been in Group 1 for, I would say, at least 5 years, 6 years. Very experienced team. They have two great players. Victor Estrella, who just finally got his breakthrough to the top 50, and Jose Hernandez, who was actually being mentored by Victor. And when I heard that we were playing them at home, I had the biggest smile on my face. Yes, to play Jose Hernandez, who's actually around my age, I think. Yeah, seeing him growing up, he was a very tough player. And then to play him first round here, obviously it was nerves because we are good friends, but obviously on the court, you have to try to put that aside. And I think I'm the one that came out on top of the day by playing it. I think I call it zoned out tennis. Like, I was just so focused, like I said, to win, especially at home with the support. And yeah, for me to beat him, I think, I mean, he didn't play bad, but I think I just wanted to win so bad. As I said, the urge to win was, I think, at a high peak there.
In October 2014, Darian King, appeared at the Charlottesville Men's Pro Challenger in Virginia. He was staring down British opponent Edward Curry, who was leading the match 6-4, 6-6.
Yeah, so on that day, I arrived and I had to play at, I think, second on after 10, so I think around 12. And so I got there around 10, around the first match, preparing to rest down I gradually put my bag down to go to get my racket from the stringer machine. From the stringer, sorry, not the string machine. And then to get my racket, I forgot my wallet and stuff in my bag and stuff, so I went back downstairs for my wallet and ID and that kind of stuff, and then to realize that it was missing. And yeah, so I pretty much preparation was pretty poor, and that losing my stuff and that losing the phone that Liam had just provided for me. So I was gradually like angry because I couldn't just walk around with my stuff. So I asked around, like, anyone seen my stuff, my belongings, and everyone was no. So in the meantime, I was called on court because one of the guys had retired from the match. So no time to eat, no time to warm up for my match. And so I was asking the tournament referee to give me a break because I'm looking for my stuff. No break, he didn't give me a break, so I had to rush on the court, change my shirt and stuff on the court, which I never do. Normally I prepare before, tie my laces and stuff. So I had to do all that on the court, so obviously I wasn't prepared. And then I was playing a guy from Great Britain who was ranked around the same ranking as me, which is a good first round in the tough tournament. And yes, he ended up winning I had a lot of chances in the first set. He ended up winning the first set, but all in the back of my